Hey YouTube, welcome. Just a little update on my aquaponics system. I'm having a rough week here with unclear water. It's getting a little frustrating, but I think I figured it out, and I just didn't have enough plants in there. So today I went and planted a bunch of plants. These 9 here are pigeon peas that the previous owner of the house that I live in now threw, I guess, seeds or beans across the fence. When they started sprouting, they grew up, the limbs hung over the fence, they produced seeds, they dropped, and these I just transplanted from the yard. And my tackle box tray biofilter is working pretty good. And I also planted this sawgrass. It grows real fast, really quick. So my goal here today is, I'm having an issue with the clarity. I think that I'm feeding the fish too much, as well as not having enough plants in the mix to take up some of the nitrogen, ammonia, things like that. So that was my goal. This pepper here is one that I planted probably 2 to 3 weeks after I had this system rolling. It's been going for probably 3 months now. And this pepper, it's an Anaheim chili, and it is growing probably, I want to say, close to 3/16 of an inch a day, which is crazy. Anyway, won't focus. So hopefully this will solve my problem. And like I said, I've just got grass in here. That's just wild crabgrass. That's a weed there. That's white corn, actually. I think this is a weed, but what I plan to do is use these plants to work the nitrogen and nitrates, all that stuff, ammonia, out of the system. And when I do, there's obviously no vegetables or fruit coming from these. The pigeon peas I can probably get some good peas out of, but the rest I'm just going to use to filter the system, and then I'm going to throw them away. Or the sawgrass I'll probably transplant. These are weeds. Really, basically the corn, obviously, I'm going to keep and I'm going to eat, and the pepper as well. But that's my goal. That's my goal, is to use them as nitrogen fixers for the water quality. So everything's going good, though. I got a new spout on the fish tank inlet here. It's creating a lot more water. I've bent the pipe. You can see I burnt it a little bit with a torch, but I filled it with sand, and I bent it, heated it up, and then bent it. That way it have some kind of angle. And if you can, I don't know if you can note it, you can tell, you probably can't because the top of the water is clear. But I've got a good circulation now. It goes in a nice big pattern pretty quickly. So that helps with debris, getting rid of debris. It helps the fish, breathe. It's getting good, tiny, tiny bubbles. As you can see, we're getting micro bubbles. So there it is. Give you an update in about a week and let you know my progress. Also, let me show you real fast while I have you. We've got fresh roots growing from this pepper. We've also got fresh roots growing from the crabgrass. This root I planted today, so you're not going to see any results. This is the other weed. It's hard to tell, but I can tell that there's some small little roots popping out that were not there when I harvested it. So there you go. It's kind of a hybrid aquaponics setup, because most aquaponics setups are, this part here is filled with clay pebbles, very lightweight clay pebbles, very porous. They drain and retain water very fast, both directions, and it comes up to about here. But what I'm doing is I'm just using water, and I found these 2 floats, these 2 foam, I guess, seed starters, and I trimmed up one end. This end here I cut off probably, I think, 2 channels of seed so it would fit in there. So the point is, when it floats, all the roots underneath, if you look, all the roots underneath are getting water. But when this tank drains, I've got it set up to this bell valve when it reaches the top of this level, it's going to overflow. Now, if you didn't have the bell valve involved, it would just overflow and nothing would change. It would just stay at this height and just overflow into here. Now that I put this bell on, once it comes up to this level, it's going to start a siphon. It's going to force this little bit of air out that's in the top. It's going to force it down, and it's going to create a siphon. Once the siphon, I don't know if you can see down there, I've got some holes and notches cut in the bottom of the pipe. And once it reaches the top of this notch, it breaks the siphon and it starts filling again. So, and that's an endless cycle. That's what's supposed to happen. The point is to get a little bit of air movement to the roots while it's filling back up, and it seems to be working great. This pepper, like I said, it's grown almost a 1/4 inch per day, which I've never even seen that in soil. So the plant doesn't really look that healthy, but the pepper is growing like crazy. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to fix it and come up with something, but it's working good for now. I'll keep you posted.